Oh my God, we're live, and I remembered to play the intro right away. Top of the morning, Tone. How are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm good, and you?
Yeah, who you rooting for in the Grey Cup today?
I'm sticking with the West.
Yeah, I think.
The West.
Well, Toronto doesn't have a quarterback, so they're starting quarterbacks out. So I think Toronto would have a better chance if Chad Kelly played with a cast on his leg. It's just like I don't have much faith in the quarter. I don't even know his name, to tell you the truth. So, but
will you watch it?
Yeah, I'll probably tune in a little bit. The Lions got knocked out, so but I really don't like Winnipeg. I don't know why. I guess because they beat up on the Lions all the time. So I haven't had a great deal of love for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So I remember when the CFL had two teams in the league, 8-team league, and two teams were named the Rough Riders, Saskatchewan and Ottawa. So, and then when Ottawa folded and they were going to come back, and they were trying to figure out what name they should have, somebody suggested they should call themselves the Ottawa Blue Bombers. Which I thought was pretty funny.
I think this is five in a row for the Bombers.
Five Grey Cups in a row. Yeah, I think they've only won one.
1-2. They won back to back.
Did they win back?
They lost 1-2, and then lost last year.
Well, CFL. People have been saying it. CFL is actually a better game than the NFL. Played at its highest level, it is. It's a much more entertaining game than the NFL. Although the better athletes play in the NFL, I'll give them that. But just as a pure game, like the CFL is more passing. But at its worst, at the CFL at its worst, it's run pass punt, run pass punt, run pass punt, and it's so boring. But both leagues have their good points. I won't disparage either one of them. They're both great games. So you can't. There's no wrong choice there. So.
Guys,
anyway, go ahead.
Hold on. I wouldn't mind. Do we want to move on, or do you just want to put your comments out there? Holy cow!
Okay. No, go ahead.
I'm gonna take any way
and moving on
out of your vocabulary, man. You're just let it breathe.
I could always do this.
Well, there you go. I was just gonna say that, like big NFL fans don't like CFL. I think in general, like my buddies are all NFL diehards, and maybe one of this group of fellas is a CFL fan. But yeah, I agree. Like it can be more exciting and more plays, and that kind of drives me. Like NFL is a game that I have a lot of respect for, but just that territorial, just like little bits and moving and the running, and it just. I mean, I won't watch. I don't watch an NFL game from beginning to end.
Yeah. Well, the unlimited motion, the wider field, the longer end zones, it makes for you have way more options. So and the extra man, we have 12, they have 11. So you gotta account for that extra guy. So, which is why a lot of American quarterbacks can't play up here. They can't make that adjustment. They can't account for the extra guy. So can I move on now?
You bet, pal. You bet.
Yeah, Canucks Oilers both played last night. The Oilers got absolutely obliterated by the Leafs. Leaf Nation is bragging about that. So, and the Canucks absolutely annihilated the Chicago Blackhawks 4-1. So, what did you think of the Oil? You're loyal to the Oil. What did you think of them last night?
Oh, they can't hold a lead, and I mean the start of the season is behind us. Like tough start, but they got to figure out how to keep a lead. And the Skinner, we didn't get enough saves from him last night. I think the fellas were flying last night, and I think we were the better team on the whole. But can't you can't that damn lead for the Oilers is just painful. It's not quite confidence level there.
Well, I think it's they do have a lot of new members on the back end, and I think that's part of it. They seem to be just that split hair of a second hesitant, in their coverage. So, I think that'll come. I still think the Oilers are the odds-on favorite to win the cup this year. So, as much as that pains me to say it, now we never did get to talk about the Canucks Oilers game that they played on November 9th. So, that's one thing I got to bring up is I owe you an apology because last time you weren't here, and my intent was just to roast you to no end, but my sense of humor gets me in trouble sometimes, and I didn't quite say it the way that I should have said it, and some people close to you kind of got worried about you, and I to all people close to Craig, that is not what I meant, and I just my sense of humor goes off the rails sometimes, so I apologize. I didn't mean to get people worried about you, so if if that happened, please don't hurt me next time you see me. So anyway, that's my apology.
Thank you. Your boys played bully. They bullied the Blackhawks last night.
Yeah, well, they they showed that they wore them down. They played kind of rope-a-dope with them for the first two periods and kind of wore them down, and then in the third I think they just kind of took over the game and whatnot. So the standings, recent standings, Vegas Golden Knights in the Pacific Division are first with 24 points. Kings are second with 23 and 19 games. Golden Knights have only played 17 games. Canucks played 16 games, have 21 points in third. 21 points for Calgary in 18 games. Oilers 18 games, 20 points. Seattle 19 points, 1 point behind at 18 games. Anaheim 16 games, 14 points. San Jose pulling up the rear. Now in the last 10 games, Canucks and Oilers are both 6-3-1. So it's looking pretty even there, but I still, like I say, I hate to say it, but I still think the Oil is a better overall team, even though they've struggled in the beginning of the season, and they still are very inconsistent. That's got to drive you nuts.
Yeah, when you've got that kind of talent, but as you're saying, when losing those guys on the back end.
Who did they lose? They lost CC and Broberg.
Desharnais.
Right?
Broberg separate, just from a regular season standpoint. I kind of put him in a different category, but to lose Desharnais and CC on that back end even just from a penalty killing standpoint, like
that's a lot of size
awful too. Right now, like we're as bad as the Canucks were.
Yeah, that's a lot of size there that they lost. So, which is important in the playoffs.
And Nuge is getting a little older too. Like he doesn't. It's like he's lost a half step. He's just not quite as quick, or hasn't been quite as quick. Which I think he's just that half, like a quarter stride behind as far as getting to that puck, and that PK is I think is It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
I've got while we're on the Oilers and while we're talking, kudos to Connor for 1,000 points. What a game that was when he put up the 1,000. Here's
Yeah.
a
1,000 points, and he's not even 30 years old yet. So that's awesome.
Fourth youngest or fourth fastest to 1,000. On the 1,000 points, here's a trivia question for you. How many games did Wayne Gretzky, Wonderful, because I know you love when I call him Wonderful. How many games did he have with 4 or more points?
Wow. Holy cow. That'd be at least 100.
Prefacing this, Gretzky is the first fastest to 1,000 in his first. He did it in like 424 or something like that. He's also the second fastest to 1,000 games. His second 1,000 points from 1,000 to 2,000 points at like 440 some odd games. So if you took away all of Gretzky's games where he scored 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points, he would have 217 games with 4 or more points for 1,004 points.
Wow. Oh,
Isn't that 217 games for 1,000 points?
Wow.
He'd still have 1,000 points.
217 games. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah.
That's my Gretz trivia for the day.
Yeah. I should have put that into rapid fire. But yeah, so now what did you think of the Reeves hit?
I not intentionally coincidental in the sense but Reeves had every opportunity. He could have come up a stride, slowed down a little bit. He knew the timing of that. He's a pro. He could have adjusted, and seeing that Nurse didn't curl. Had he curled a little bit closer to the net, probably would have been shoulder to shoulder, but that can't have that hit. I'd give him 5 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I watched it probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 times, and I give 5% blame to Nurse for having his head down.
For sure.
But I give 45% blame on Skinner because he's supposed to be watching for that.
He could go.
He should have been yelling, "Head up, head up, head up!" Or "Man coming, man coming!" Like, that's your job as a goalie to talk. You remember me when I was always yelling at you guys constantly. I never shut up. So that's his job to have his surroundings, to be aware, to have that awareness, and to make sure that his defensemen are safe, right? Because that's So I give 45% of the blame to Skinner on that one, and 50% to Reed. Yeah, that's a lot on him. I really, I say, what the hell? And you watch the video, he's looking at the puck, like Skinner's looking at the puck, even though the puck's going behind the net. Yeah, and so when he turns around, that's to go to the other side. That's when Reeves came. And you got to have your head on a swivel, man, and you got to be knowing what's going on in your end. That's a lot on Skinner. I just I'll die on that hill because it was it was a bad hit, and they should have those two guys should have seen it coming. Speaking of Skinner and Nurse,
I've knocked a few guys in my day, but I've also hate where a guy's got his back to me or something like that, mid ice or something like that, where you could
just give him a heads up, right? Yeah,
you could do the Gamatos thing where oops, I turned my hip into you, but that I was gonna ask, as soon as he said Skinner, I was like, where was he looking as Nurse was coming around? So he was looking at Nurse, the puck, instead of you gotta have that awareness, man. Okay.
We got time for rapid fire, music of the week, and book of the week, and then we got to bring on our guest. So, you ready for rapid fire?
Yep.
Okay, so we got to do the intro.
Rapid fire.
Born on this day in 1942, he directed such movies as Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and Goodfellas.
Scorsese.
Name the capital city of Peru.
Pass.
Lima.
Lima.
True or false? No Edmonton Oiler has ever won the Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year.
True.
Name the movie starring Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon as two women driving cross country on a crime spree.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Thelma and Louise.
Thelma and Louise. Yeah.
Which physicist discovered the concept of gravity?
Newton.
This month, Sidney Crosby broke the record for face-off wins with 14,838, which recently retired Boston Bruin previously held the record.
Bergeron.
Led Zeppelin could not tour Germany in the 70s because their name was deemed offensive. What did they temporarily change their name to?
No idea.
The Knobs. Name the actor who played Harry Potter.
Pass.
Daniel Radcliffe. Name a famous horse.
Exterminator.
In what movie did Lord Bridges state, "Looks like I picked the wrong day to quit sniffing glue"?
Lloyd Bridges?
Yep.
Oh, pass.
Airplane.
Okay.
He picked the wrong day to quit smoking, quit drinking, quit popping amphetamines, and quit sniffing glue. So
Nice.
All right, what's the music of the week?
I found a bit of a grail this week. It's not a new album.
A grail?
A grail. So I found this sealed long box of the Tragically Hip. So it's still got the hype sticker from A&B Sound.
Yeah, wow, holy cow. A&B Sound.
A&B Sound. It's sealed. Isn't
that's crazy? That's got to be worth like $100.
Oh, I would think. And I found and I also got the found the long box of Rattle and Hum.
Angel in Harlem is Angel of Harlem is one of my favorite songs ever. I love the beginning of that song.
Great.
Whenever I need a pick me up, I put on Angel of Harlem. That's a great. Okay. Book of the week. I ran into an author doing a book signing at Indigo, and we got to talking, and we discussed each other's books, and he picked up a copy of Hockey Nobody, and he wrote an absolutely glowing review. My head went like, yeah, so I wanted to thank him. So Grant Patterson, your book of the week, Bomber Moon. I haven't read it yet, but I promise it's next on the list, and I will reciprocate and offer. He's written that.
What's it about?
It's about World War II and bomber pilots and stuff. So, Flying Officer David Nat Royce joined the Royal Canadian Air Force for a cleaner, nobler war than one his father had fought. But in the skies over Germany, the bomber offensive is neither clean nor noble, yet it has to be fought to the finish all the same. So he's got a lot of good reviews on the back. So I'm looking forward to reading that. I love World War II stuff. So that is the book of the week. That is fiction. That is a fictionalized version of like Enola Gay or Memphis Belle. Memphis Belle.
To the old boys, lest we forget.
Yes, lest we forget. Happy Remembrance Day, and my dad was in the Navy, fought in World War II.
Wow.
We asked him why he joined the Navy even though he couldn't swim. And he said, well, if I was going to go to war, I wasn't going to walk. My dad was nothing if not pragmatic. So anyway, we got our special guest this week coming on. His name is Dan Giancola, a good friend of the show. And hey, Dan.
Hey.
Dano.
What's going on? Am I here?
Yeah,
you're
here. Yeah. Can you see us?
All right, you got me. Beautiful. What's going on?
Yeah. Who are you rooting for in the Grey Cup today?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, there's the ring. Wow,
Yes.
look at that, eh?
Come on, man.
That thing's got to weigh like a pound and a half. Like,
Yeah. It's a beauty, man. It's my that's my pride and joy. But you know what? I'll be honest with you. If I had to accept, now I'm not saying the Argos going to lose. The Argos going to win. But if I had to accept a loss, I mean, Mike O'Shea. I played with Mike O'Shea in 1999 up to 2004, and I love Osh. Osh is he is such a fantastic human being. He's got such a massive heart and a love for the game, and he also was one of my, my mentors in my first year playing, who kind of took me under the wing. So it's crazy. The older you get, and you see the guys that you played with, and they get into like the coaching, realm, and say, hey, and Jordan Younger, and and all those guys, and so yeah.
Dan Giancola clean up on aisle 5. Dan Giancola clean up on aisle 5.
Exactly right there. He used to always do that on the plane. He legit would go to the front. He'd ask the stewardess if it'd be okay. He'd go in there and clean up aisle 4, Giancola, clean up, and the guys would be just dying, and I remember one time one of the guys looked at me and he said, man, like, you don't get upset at that, do you? And I'm like, dude, are you insane? Like, I mean, Paul Mazzotti once said to me on the bus, if they're not razzing you, means they don't like you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So
I subscribe to that.
Yeah, honestly, it's so true.
So
it really is. It's so true.
Who was the funniest guy you played with?
Osh.
Osh was the funniest guy.
I can tell you stories, man, but I mean, he wouldn't mind. I don't think he would be too happy with me. So I can't divulge, but hands down, Osh was even in the heat of battle. I have to say this, even in the heat of the battle, the Grey Cup or whatever it was, Osh was always the same guy from practice to preseason to a regular season game, right up into the Grey Cup, and he's one of those guys that taught me that if you're playing that much more harder in the Grey Cup than you've done all year, you've done a wrong service to your team.
Mm-hmm.
Really, and it's God honest truth. The guys would always say it to me, man. The Grey Cup, Fletcher said it to me, and I about fell over when he said it to me. We were on the bus. We were going for the big game, Ottawa. And we were going, and I said, dude, you nervous? Because I won the Grey Cup with him in Michael Fletcher in 2000. And he said, G, I got to tell you, man, it's just another game. And I'm thinking to myself, how is this just another game? Like, you're playing for the Grey Cup. I mean, if you win, you're immortalized on the cup. Like, your name is on, the cup, and you get these gorgeous rings. And how is it just but later on when it's all said and done, you kind of sit back and you realize it's just another game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but as a player, it makes complete sense. I mean, you don't treat it any more than any other game that you play.
That's where a wise man once said, a wise man once said, you leave it all out on the field. What you've kept, you've lost forever. So,
absolutely, right.
Sorry, go ahead, Tone. I cut you off there.
That's really surprising.
Well, what I said, or
that I cut him off?
No. Steve has this knack for cutting me off lately. So.
Okay, moving on.
Starting to lose my shit on him.
Yeah.
And by the way, I got to tell you guys something, okay? And this means a lot to me. This is the side. This is what they gave us for you win the Grey Cup. This is the hat. And I got to be honest with you. I have never, ever, ever. It looks like I've worn it. I haven't. It just sits in my bedroom on my ball case of the one game winning field goal that I've kicked. and I wore it for your show. And I haven't worn it. I mean, you ask my wife,
Wow.
man, next time we ever have my wife on the show or whatever, or she'll comment on whatever, she'll tell you, I have never worn this hat. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Thank you. We're honored. Yeah. Well, Dan, by my count, this is your 4th appearance on the show. That's more than anybody so far. So.
Oh, for real? Oh, I'm honored, man. Thank
And
you. You know what? And thank you so much for having me on again. The second that you guys messaged me, I mean, I knew it fell on Grey Cup, and I had like 2 or 3 appearances that people wanted me to do, like in restaurants and that. And God honest truth, I told him straight up, man, I'm gonna go home and watch the game. I want to be on this show with these guys because these guys mean a lot to me. So, and I really truly mean that. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Yeah, you mean a lot to us, Dan, and we kudos. Your book is still doing great.
Kicking butt, man. We're still doing good. I had to step back from the book a little bit, and the reason, honestly, why is it's my studio. We're in the process right now, hence why I'm not in an office right now, and I got my new sign that we just designed in the back. We're kind of rebranding, but we're redoing the office and the whole entire studio, because of COVID and the fun that it did, and to all the businesses, and so we downsized. We're this wall behind me, right? I don't know if you guys can see because I'm kind of limited here, but there's a black wall right here. Yeah, so I remember I took you guys, I believe, through the last time, and I showed you guys. But this is the wall we put up that separates 5,000 square feet. So we're up to 2,500 square feet. And honestly, you guys are the very first podcast that I've done. Oh man, it's been a little while. You guys were the last ones, and I like I said, it's been just me, man. Peeling the rubber flooring off the floor, 2,500 square feet, and then repainting an entire 2,500 square foot studio, and so it's been a little bit of the anxiety gets up and all that fun stuff, and depression kind of kicks in a little bit because you look at it as a little bit of a defeat, but at the same time, you're going with the times. So it's really not failure. When you take a step back, it's kind of like, you know what? No, man, I mean, this was meant to be. I only signed a 1-year extension in this location with the landlord. Because of my heart to heart, I feel this book is, we're still waiting on the stuff that I told you guys before. And there's, make a real long story short, and I don't know what questions you guys want to ask, so I don't want to overstep, but the gentleman who is doing the documentary, his wife's been diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer.
Oh,
so, and I don't want to say too much more than that because I don't really know him personally yet. But he let me know about that, and I said, listen, the documentary, the potential of a movie can always be there. The book's not going anywhere. The book is here for, it's here. So, you take care of your wife and do what you need to do. And, my prayers to you and your wife and your family. And I'm ready when you are. So, I reached out to him a couple times and just asked how his wife was doing. But, that's real life right there. You know what I mean? So, I'm just taking a step back. I'm getting back into it now. And you guys are kind of leading the way for me. We're going to the Bahamas. It's my very first vacation. And, well, my father-in-law had cancer for 10 years, so we couldn't go anywhere because of that. My mother-in-law lived with us for 7 years and battled. So it's been a minimum of 17 years since we've been on vacation. So my wife just made a decision. Hey, we're going. So we're going to the Bahamas December 8th for a week. And when I come back, man, I'm going to be on fire. This is the one thing that I needed. I needed to get away. I needed to recharge. And I need to step away from all of this. And so I'm really excited. Really excited.
Go ahead, Tom.
Oh my God. The
So moving on.
Yeah.
appreciate the honesty and take you back to that comment about the Grey Cup versus a regular game, and that meant I was going to say that the good guys, the professionals, the teams that win have a level of mental toughness that other teams aspire to. So thinking and being Grey Cup Sunday, that mental toughness, that prep you did for Grey Cup, a few days leading up to it, how is that impacted how you deal with the new sign behind you, or the new that toughness that you practice? How does that impact your life today?
Oh, so you mean like transferring that here?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, man, this is the God honest truth. My success in life, my blueprint, is basically in that book. Meaning, everything that I did. You know, one of the things, you know, I really kind of want to make sure I say it properly. I took the blueprint of what I did from playing professional football, and I transferred that into business. So the best part of that is the blueprint. You learn from it, right? So like you go in football, man. You know you're chasing your dream. You know, my dream was to play professional football. Was my dream to open my own business? At the time, not necessarily. I just wanted to help people, and it just kind of it grew, and where I drew from the blueprint was about just believing and putting it out there. I guess you could say like putting it out to the universe, you know, like I'm going to be the best personal trainer that I could possibly be. I never compare myself to anybody. And I learned that when I was chasing my dream and going to all these free agent camps, and I would sit there and listen to these guys, you know, before, you know, it was time to kick. And they would have these huge rings, man, like these huge college rings. Yeah, man, I could kick 70-yarder. I just nailed a 78-yarder last week. And, you know, and you're getting psyched out. Like you're getting absolutely psyched out because you're listening to everybody. And at the end of the day, when it was time to put the numbers up, did these guys have powerful legs? Absolutely. But they were going like 11 for 20. You know, we all know consistency is everything. So then when all of a sudden it was my time, I drew from that confidence because I normally was always last. I always tried to make sure I was the last one to kick. And I drew from that. I was like, okay, man, 11 for 20. He's got a powerful leg. But so I go out there and go 19 for 20. The reason why I'm using this analogy is because I don't worry about what the competition is doing. You know, F-45 is a big thing now around here, and they're popping up like candy right now. Like there's one that just showed up in Fawn Hill, another one is in Niagara Falls, another one's in St. Catharines, now another one's in St. Catharines. And, you know, obviously, you know, that's competition. I don't worry about that. I worry about what Dan Giancola does. I worry about the impact that I do in the community, right? So, you know, I'm not just a entrepreneur. I'm also somebody who still involves himself in the community. And I never go as Dan Giancola, you know, BTO Performance, or Dan Giancola, the football player. I go as Dan Giancola. Dan. You know what I mean?
Dan from the block.
Right? Honestly, really, honest to God, that's so true, you know? And so I'm hoping I'm answering your question. I'm hoping I am. I just took what I learned, you know, the hard work and the dedication, and, you know, don't listen to the naysayers. You know, all those people who have an opinion, you know, oh, you got to do more hours. Well, it's just me. So I can't do like these big, you know, these big companies are doing where they have classes from, you know, 5 a.m. until 10 o'clock at night. I would die. You know what I mean? You'd only have so much voice, you know? And so, you know, I just made a decision. You know what? I'm going to give it everything I got. And if what I'm doing is enough, then that's all that matters to me, right? I don't worry about other people.
On a day like this, Grey Cup Sunday,
Yeah.
What's that wake up feeling? Do you instantly flash back to waking up on your Grey Cup
so
Sunday?
you got to appreciate, I finished, so to put it a little perspective, like I finished this season on the practice roster. I had no choice in Toronto because pre came back and they needed room on the roster. And I'm going to tell you guys a story.
Dan, sorry to interrupt you. What year, just anybody that's listening, what year, what Grey Cup are we talking about? And what year?
2004 Argos. Yeah. And we were in the warm-up. No, you know what? I never even put this in the book because, you know, I didn't want to upset Pre at all. You know what I mean? I don't even know if Pre remembers. So I used to always, you know, I'd walk up to Pre, okay, when you're ready, let me know. We're going to go kick. I'll hold him for you. And he would kick. And then I would, you know, if he pulls one left, right, I would say to him, hey, you know what? Straighten up a little bit. It was very rare that I had to do that. I just remember I said, Pre, I'm going to simulate the hold. So I grabbed the ball, put it to the hold, and then away he goes. And he kicked my knee. And you got to appreciate, we're talking Pre. You know, Pre's got a powerful leg. So I still got a scar to this leg. So I don't know if it was I had the wrong knee in front, or maybe he just miscued it. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. But I saw him stop for a minute. And I thought, oh shit. Because they can activate me. From what I know, they can activate me from the practice roster if they needed to. And I about pooped my pants, man. I just remember saying, Bree, are you all right? Are you okay, bro? Yeah, gee, yeah. Just give me a minute. I'm like, oh my God, I pray to God he's not hurt. But to kind of answer your question, that kind of puts it into perspective. Like I was, even though these guys said to me, you know, like treat every game like it's, you know, whatever. In the back of my head, man, I'm just being real. There's 70,000 people in the stadium. There's millions of people, including in the States. This is our Super Bowl, our version of the Super Bowl. How is this another game? So that like the night before, I didn't sleep. I wasn't even playing, and I didn't sleep. I wasn't even playing. All I had to do was wake up and put on my sweats and go to the game and cheer these guys on the best I could. You know what I mean? And man, so I can't imagine, like, I never slept. You know, my roommate was Sandy Annunziato. He slept like a log. He was a veteran, of course, like 10 years. You could hear him snoring like a bear. I mean, he didn't even budge. You know, you sit in there and you listen to guys like Damon Allen in the locker room and you know, well, in our pregame, the morning of, and, you know, he looks around the room and he says, you know, Andre Talbot, I'm playing for you. You know, I'm playing for you. Look at the guy beside you. Tell him they're playing for you, you know, and so emotional, you know, and then, of course, Pinball goes and does his legendary, you know, speech. And I mean, I don't care if you got 1 hour sleep between Damon and Pinball. You're clicking on all cylinders come game time.
A lot of positivity there.
Oh man, crazy.
Yeah, I met Damon Allen just one time, and it was just in passing, but he seemed like a very nice guy, like just very pleasant.
He's a very nice man. Where I actually really got to know him was the Grey Cup, because his brother Marcus Allen was at the game, and I remember being in the lobby.
He was pretty good.
And he goes,
yeah, he was okay.
He said, come on over here, bro. Yeah, right. And I said, guys, you have got to let me take a picture with you guys right now. So I put my arm around, you know, again, these are one of a million pictures that could have been in the book. Put my arm around Marcus, the other one around Damon, and I took a picture with him, and I sent it to my brother-in-law, who's a huge Raiders fan. And he was just like, oh, you got to be kidding me. But just a great family, bunch of great guys.
Yeah.
2000 that 2004 Grey Cup. I was just doing. We were doing that music of the week, and you might appreciate this. I found this sealed long box of the hip up
I
to
saw that
here.
in your thing. Absolutely. I met
And then-
Gord. Did you guys see that in the book or no? Did it make it to the book?
I don't remember Gord being in the book.
So
you would have met. Go ahead, but I think I know where you're
no,
going.
go
with
ahead.
this.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I forgot the hip played the halftime show
Yeah.
at the Grey Cup that year.
Yeah. I was walking back, so they were getting ready to come out. And the guys were all in they were all in the locker room, like it's halftime. And I just remember standing outside the room. And I was just so nervous, man, because I was thinking, oh my God, like we're winning. This is great. Oh, this man. Here comes Gord Downie, like literally walking past me. All I remember he says, so he knew who I was, which blew me away. He goes, "Hey, Clutch, how you doing, man? Go get it."
That's
And I'm
awesome.
like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is crazy. And, I'll never forget that moment. I will never forget that moment. He said clutch. And I was like, oh, wow, like this is so crazy, and, it just playing that game, you got to experience so many wonderful moments. And, especially the Tragically Hip. And, obviously they're legendary Canada, and so to experience that moment for me, it was so surreal. I just remember going back in the locker room, and I wanted to tell the guys, "Man, you're not gonna believe it." And I'm thinking, they don't care. Like they're, I'm like a little kid going to the Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Craig met Gord Downie, didn't you, Craig?
I met him once down in Eugene, Oregon. We went down. I saw the hip about 19 times, but I would often just go down to Spokane, Seattle, Eugene, Portland, where they play 700-person venues or 1,000-person venues. And he was playing a place called the Wow Hall. And imagine your elementary school small gym. It was that kind of size. It was
Wow.
I think it was an old Legion or something like that. And so yeah, it was super cool. Yeah, good
That's
dude,
crazy,
great dude.
man.
Yeah. My Tragically Hip story is not me, but a buddy of mine got invited to the Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver, which is a very famous venue for rock bands. So Tragically Hip were playing. They were at the height of their, I think they just released Day for Night. And so he got invited. Yeah, he got invited to the Commodore Ballroom, a VIP pass, which meant he got to meet the band. And he said he's a huge Hip fan, like huge, right? And so like these guys are his heroes, eh? So he went down and he met them, and he was floating on air for like a week. And he said every one of them came up to him and gave the handshake and the pull in, the hug, and every one of them except Langlois. Langlois just kind of was talking to a girl, and he fucking just waved at him.
Well, he had a reason.
Yeah.
He had a reason. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, yeah.
My buddy's from Kingston, and he says all of them. I mean, they walk down Kingston, and they're like U2 in Dublin. Like people don't lose their minds. They give them that space and allow them that space. He goes, they're just like us. They just have a cooler job.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's funny you say that, because I just had a conversation with somebody, and they wanted me to come out and do some show. They were raising money for something, and anybody in the community around here knows. I mean, unless I absolutely cannot do it, I commit myself. And then she kept reiterating, celebrity, 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 celebrity. And I finally stopped her, and I said, I said, "You're going to lose me now." I said, "You're going to lose me for this event." And she said, "Why?" I said, please don't, you're not offending me in any way, shape or form, but please stop with the celebrity thing. I don't believe in that. I just don't believe in that. I don't think, because, it is so, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just,
It's uncomfortable.
it's extremely uncomfortable, but at the same time too, it almost makes you in a sense feel like, where people put you in this completely different category, and you hear about the movie stars and they have this Oscar night, and these are their award nights, and all the celebrities, and I understand, like, you give them this name, the celebrity title, but man, I had a job, and again, I never use the word job, but in this situation I'm going to. I had this job where I was on TV. That was my job. Doctors, well, they're in the operating room. Firefighters, they're out in the field putting out fire. Like, so, like, I understand this celebrity thing, and and I'm having such a hard time with it lately, and I'm hearing, these guys signing these astronomical, size contracts, and then and the reporters sit there and they say things like, what a class act, he's taking one for the team, and instead of accepting 100 million, he decided to do 65 million dollars. I'm thinking to myself, give your head a shake for 5 seconds and think about that. You think about that. Yeah, okay, so you left $40 million on the table. You're getting paid $60 million to play a game. I totally understand, about, like, what sports means to people, and but I just think it's way out, blown way out. Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe,
Well, Chris Rock
people might.
says. Chris
What's
Rock
that?
says, Chris Rock, who Chris Rock is, comedian.
Yeah.
He says, I don't want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. He says, like, I don't want to be Shaq. I want to be the guy that pays Shaq.
Right,
So,
well, you know what I mean?
and so, like, there was a term for it. It's called creeping decimalism, where there's just so many zeros behind the one that it just kind of loses all meaning, right? So, like, yeah, you left millions of dollars on the table, but you're still, so, it kind of, there, you lose your relativity, because you can't relate to it. You can't relate to what they're going through. And I remember back, I don't even remember what year it would be, maybe 20, 30 years ago, but a guy got an astronomical contract offer, millions, and he called it an insult. He said, that's an insult. And, like, there were so many people who were pissed off at him because he lost a lot of fans, because
For me, it was Crosby. It was Crosby for me. And again, I love Crosby, and I've met him. What an amazing individual. And he did a wonderful thing. They said that he took this massive pay cut to remain, and then the reporters kept going on and on. What he's done, and allows, the salary cap, and I get it, and I totally get it, but I just try to put my head around the fact that the money he's going to make outside of that. So maybe he left 30, 20, 40 million on the table. He said, okay, I'm going to take the sacrifice for the team. Okay.
Well, he'll make that
he's
in
going to make that in endorsements.
endorsements.
He's going to make that in signings. He's going to, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
Isn't that the other way to look at that? Crosby's that contract, the 10-year or whatnot, was he signed for $8.7 million.
Right.
So he knew, to his credit, he knew I'm going to make that balance up, and for the good of the all, that it allows the team to do it. He knows he's going to make that other money. He knows enough is enough. Like, he knew where that is. Like, I think that's actually a compliment to Sid to take something that's kind of right there over the period of his tenure as an NHL hockey player, underpaid in the scheme of things compared to what the owners are making off of him and what the team is and what the league is. I don't if a guy can get paid, get your money. But there's guys like that I think guys like that get it. Like he's thinking about the guy right beside him who they may or may not bring in.
He's a team first guy.
Yeah, and they knew that he knew that he's got smart enough guys around him, or those kind of players, the good ones. They've got smart enough guys around them that are going, well, even today they announced the NHL salary cap's probably going to go up by $9 million in the next 2 years.
Wow.
So there's money to be had, and those players deserve every penny if they can make it. Make your money, and
if you can make the money, honest God, Tone, if you can make the money, obviously, you know what, you make it because the window is so small. It's just me, and I'm probably the worst person to talk to because I know when I played. And, and I always say to people, if you don't believe me, go back to when I was playing and I made my agents' lives miserable when it was time to renegotiate, because I used to always say that I would play this game for nothing. And they called me a throwback. They called me back to the day when guys, they all had other jobs, and, they technically were playing the game as a second job, I guess you could say, or whatever. And I just think that I understand, like, the ownership is making gazillions of dollars. And, I don't know, man. I just think that the players these days, man, the money that they are making, and then you see things like, and I'm not picking on basketball or anything like that, but, out for an undisclosed, he's got a pinky injury. What? You know what I mean? Like,
they made that comparison when LeBron James had to get carried off the court because he had a leg cramp, and then that in the Facebook post, the next picture was a Dallas Star, I can't remember who it was, who died on the bench from a heart attack and wanted to go back in the game. Like, it's just like he died for like 30 seconds, and so
you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to make that kind of money, and I understand that the teams are investing in you, and I totally get that, but come on, man, seriously, I can't tell you how many injuries that I see. Left pinky, right toe. I mean, I don't know, man. Whatever.
Well, we pay Craig in Edmonton Oilers chocolate hockey pucks, so that's
buddy.
That's his salary. I bought this for Craig last Christmas, and I'm going to give it to him for this Christmas. So
that's fantastic.
Been hanging on to it. So
that's great.
So November is Mental Health Month, so
yes, sir.
That's the reason why we wanted to bring you on. Now, the question I wanted to ask, you went through some tough times after your heart attack and your stroke, which you chronicled in your book very well. And then, but I wanted to ask you, in what way did you struggle? Like the depression, like how did it manifest itself? Was it like anxiety or guilt, survivor's guilt, or was it deep depression? Like, was just infinite sadness? Like, how did it manifest itself?
When it initially happened for me, when it actually happened and I was going through it, my anxiety was through the roof. You're in the ambulance, you're staring up at the ceiling, and I'll never forget the moment. And she's cutting your shirt off, puts a big patch, right here, and you look at her and you know damn well what she's doing, but I had to hear it. And I said to her, I says, what are you doing? She goes, well, we're just putting this on you for just in case. And then it hit me. Like, I'm literally staring up. I can see it. And that's where like the PTSD comes in. But I can see it like it was yesterday. I can hear the sirens of the ambulance. I can hear the engine roaring in the ambulance because we were flying. And she said to me, just in case. And right there, my anxiety went through the roof because I'm like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. Then you're in the hospital and you go through the procedure. And again, you guys know this through the book, and I question the doctors when it's all done, like what happened. And they said, Mr. Giancola, we saved you by 10 minutes. And I'm like, holy cow. Second one comes in, says a third one comes in. And I said, what do you mean you saved me by 10 minutes? And he says, 10 minutes, you would have had a massive heart attack on that table. It was all over. And there's no way we're bringing you back. And I'm like, oh. Then that night, I go on Facebook, live on Facebook. And I don't know if you guys ever saw the video. Because I sometimes share it. And I can always share it on Facebook and tag you guys in it. And I'm telling you, the thousands of people were coming on. I mean, when I say thousands, like the second that I went live, the numbers just shot through the roof, and my anxiety was kicking in. And then that's when depression started for me, because I was starting to experience, and I said it, and like I said it in the book, that I was embarrassed, I was ashamed. Here I am, I'm a trainer, I preach health, and people looked at the shape that I'm in, and I guess you could call it a pillar in the community for health, because I travel to all these schools and, talk about the importance of, fitness. And then I get released from the hospital, and we were driving, we went to my dad's first, but we went down this winding road in summer. You could smell the grass. You got to appreciate during COVID, right? So during COVID, the hospital was in overload. So I stayed in the basement the entire time. We weren't staying in the window. There was no windows. There was nothing. It was like you were in a freaking cell, And I remember being in the car, and I rolled the window down. I was in the back seat, and I just started bawling. And, Christina, my wife, is like, Dan, stop. You can't get upset. The doctor said you can't get upset. And I'm just bawling. I mean, uncontrollably bawling. I could smell, the grass. I saw your senses just heightened. You smell the fresh air. You smell, the sky was bluer than blue. The grass and the trees were greener than green. And then you get home, and you're getting read the riot act. You got to make sure that you take these 15 pills a day. It's very important. You never miss your medication. Okay. There's somebody that has never taken pills in his entire life.
Mm.
You're not allowed to lift heavy ever again. I've been lifting heavy since I was 17 years old. So all of a sudden now you feel like all these things are being taken away from you. Things that make you who you are. That you love to do. That's when depression hit me hard. I would be curled up on the floor. My brother would come over and talk to me, and I legit would be in the fetal position. And he'd be like, it's going to be okay, man. It's going to be okay. I promise you it's going to be okay. And my wife would take me out of the house. We'd go to my brother-in-law's at Cambridge just so we can get out of the house. And same thing. I go there, curl up. And then finally, that's when it really hit me that, you can be as upset as you want to be right now, but you better thank God 1,000 times over that you're at least still here. So, 2 years goes by. It took me 2 years to buy in, literally to buy in to what everybody was saying to me. Dan, you're okay. If you feel a little heart palpitation, that's okay. You're okay. If it happens, over and over and repeatedly, okay, maybe we got to go get a checkup. Okay. Started lifting in the gym again, feeling really good. putting on some size again. And I just changed my way of thinking. Okay, instead of lifting heavy, screw them. I'm going to do crazy amount of sets and reps. And the weight just started coming back on. And I was like, okay, all right. Feeling good. August 17th, 2022. You guys can't see it, but right here, I have a massive stroke. So you go through all that. You're in the hospital. Once again, thanking God that you're still here. And you just think to yourself, why? Why? Like, why me, man? Like, seriously, why me? Have I been that bad of a person because that's what you start doing. You start blaming yourself because you're trying to figure out everything.
Trying to figure out the why.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
You're thinking you're getting punished. Is that it?
Well, because you go through your 3 whys, and this is when I do my motivational speaking. This is what I always talk about. It's your first why is why me? Why? What have I done? You're devastated. You're devastated because you can't figure it out. And only thing people could say to me was genetically, because your father, his brother, their father, my mom's dad, my grandfather, they all died of heart attacks. Well, my dad never died of a heart attack and my uncle, but my other 2 grandfathers did. So genetically, yes, I am disposed of it, right? My second why was, why me? You get pissed. You're like, my life was so good.
Angry.
In whatever case it was. If it was the heart attack, okay, what did I do wrong? Like, oh my God, I've eaten right, I trained. Then you have a stroke. Well, wait a minute. Everybody told me and said to me that you're okay. Why am I in the ICU? Again. Why did I almost die? Again. My third why was, why not me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm nobody special. I just finished talking about the celebrity thing. I'm like anybody else. Why not me? So now, to get back to, to what you were saying. Yeah. The heart attack and the stroke, that was the easy part. That sounds crazy, but that was the easy part because eventually you overcome that. My medication takes over, I'm feeling good, things are good. It's this. This, I'm telling you, man, this here is just as valuable as the muscle that beats right here.
And by this is that inside voice.
That's why I say to people, I can't tell you, by the way, I'm not going to use any names because I don't want to do this, but I'm going to just say this. After your show, the last one, I had a gentleman reach out to me. When we're done, I will send you, without the name attached to it, I will send you a screenshot of what this gentleman wrote to me. And I said, the answer isn't always medication. It isn't always medication. A lot of times it's about go to counseling. Go talk it out because I've done both and they've been very successful with me. And I give my head a shake as I sit there and I think to myself, why, especially men, why do we think for the life of me that we are so macho, that we are so tough, that because maybe we need a pill, just maybe we need a pill to take us over the edge, to take us over that hump about, this stigma about like you're weak if you take a medication for whatever. And trust me, I know people very close to some people who drive me nuts. They are suffering. And it's like, dude, stop for 5 minutes. I'm going to give you the line that my doctor said to me. You have the right to feel good. What is the wrong with taking a pill to make you feel normal again? And I get so passionate with this, guys, because especially men, it drives me nuts. And this gentleman, after your show, I'm talking right after your show, said after he heard me talk about what I was talking about, which is pretty much like we're doing right now, he said to me, I'm going, now whether he went or not, I don't know. But he said, because of you, I'm going to the doctor's tomorrow to talk to my doctor about it. And that right there made your podcast that day all worth it. All worth it. I mean, I love talking to you guys on this, but like I told you guys, if we can make a difference, that's ultimately why I went through what I went through. And these are the things that I realize now. I went through the heart attack. I went through the stroke. I'm battling my mental, my mental state that I deal with I'm here by myself right now in this studio, guys. I'm by myself. The doors are locked. I had a heart attack in this studio. I had a stroke in this studio. Do you not think for 1 minute, especially right now, because I'm reminiscing, you not think for 1 minute that something goes off over here thinking, oh shit. Oh man. If I have this stroke again, those doors are locked. I lucked out the first time. Those doors were not locked. And somebody happened to walk in. Ain't nobody walking in on me right now. You don't think for 1 minute that I don't think about that when I'm by myself? But guess what? That's life. That's life. If God says listen, God had two huge opportunities to take my life and say, hey, listen, good life. Let's bring you up here. You're an angel for somebody on their shoulder. They could have did that twice and they did it. So I don't take life for granted. I live every day like it's my last. And yes, some days absolutely suck. But on the upside, at least I'm here to live that day that sucks. And tomorrow's a new day. So, it's a constant battle.
Oh, you got forever to be dead. So
you know what I mean, right?
Might as well
you know what
live
I'm saying?
life, And
exactly.
That's the thing that I appreciate about Craig, because he's kind of like the yin to my yang, and then that when he's not happy with me, he's not shy about letting me know, and so and I appreciate that, because sometimes you step over the line and you just don't know, so you're trying to live the straight and narrow, but sometimes you can go off the rails a little bit, and Craig is good at bringing me back, right? So and so he keeps my mental, like there's sometimes like Craig calls me like in the middle of the night sometimes when he's and
that's awesome,
and we have the best conversations because we just let it all out, right? And so and so that's I sometimes I'll be like, I'm working away, like I have a job that I don't really hate, but I don't like. I just have to go, and I have to be there, and this is my life, and so and so every once in a while, I'll be working away, and it'll just pop in. I got to talk to Craig, because I need that, and
everybody needs that. Somebody
everybody needs that for their own mental health. Like I fully believe that I'm a mentally strong person, and that because like my best friend died when I was 14, and I just figured that if he could die, I could die. And what's the point of anything, right? What's the point of getting stressed out? Why not just be happy? I'm not going to spend my life being a miserable twit because because my best friend died. I'm going to live every day and just enjoy life and be happy. But you can't just regiment yourself to that, because you being inside your own head is a scary place sometimes. And so, every once in a while, I just gotta talk to Craig because he can pull me back. Right. And so, that's what this podcast is about, really, is about two guys who can,
you got to talk it out,
who can disagree and be totally opposite on some, some subjects, but still get along and be brothers, because that's what Craig is to me. He's a brother.
Appreciate that.
You're very lucky to have somebody like that.
Yeah. So, but do I like it when he yells at me? No. But sometimes I need that kick in the ass. So, and we both feel the same about you, Dan. Like you're just, having read your book and like when we met you the very first time, it's just like we all three of us kind of connected on the very same wavelength. And it's just,
instantly, man.
It's just it's a great relationship to have, and both Craig and I have taken the week of December 8th off, and we're gonna be we're gonna come with you to the Bahamas.
Let's go. That would be amazing.
Yeah, you pay.
Yeah, why not? Let's go. We're already paying for everybody else. So, yeah, you know what, man? I need it, and it's long overdue. And long overdue. Like I said, been 17 years of dealing with cancer, 4 years of dealing with, my heart attack, my stroke, my mental, I guess you could say toughness. And I'm leaving. Everybody's like, oh, you make sure you. It's like I only told my people here at the studio is that make sure you leave your phone, at home. And I said I'm not going to leave it at home, but I'm going to say this: I'm going to be off of Facebook. I'm going to only be using my phone to record the memories and take pictures. When I get home, I'll worry about that. But for that 1 week, man, I'm going there to recharge,
disconnect, and decompress, and
exactly. Hey, Jerry, I got to say this one thing that you and I have something actually in common about that you just said it. I lost my best friend at 16 years old to leukemia. He died December 24th. December 24th. And so for me, that was, and again, that was something I wanted to put in the book. But, there was some things that, when I discussed it with Perry and, he said, man, you don't want to make this book all about death, this, that, and everything else. You want to have some uplifting stuff in here. And so that's why, it was so successful. Like, it's, you got those highs and you're cheering.
It was a roller coaster. Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
What was his, what was his name? What was his name?
Steve Colley, Stephen Colley. He was my best friend, man. And it was a horrible situation. I mean, he went in for a hernia surgery. So I knew he was going in for a hernia surgery. And after that, it was about 3 weeks that went by and I kept trying to call him at home. Hey, buddy, it's Dan, just give me a call, whatever. It was about a month later. He was walking down the street in front of my house with a few girls that we used to hang around with and a couple guys. And I said to my mom, I said, Ma, I said, look at Steve. We're like looking through the window, like this. And I says, does his hair look gray to you? So I'm pretty sure that she knew. And it was a couple days later, I found out it was a wig. And he tried to, I guess, simulate obviously his old hairdo. Back in our day, the mullets, right? So he had the longer hair here and came to here and
already in the back.
Right? Yeah. And so then I found out, I don't remember who broke the news to me. Somebody broke the news to me and said they found a tumor behind, I think his testicles, somewhere around that area. So he underwent chemo. I don't know if he went through radiation, but I know for sure chemo. And I guess what ended up happening was, I think on the December 22nd, I called to see how he was doing. His mom said that he ended up getting a pneumonia. And that's not a good thing to get when you're on chemo, radiation, and all that fun stuff. I just remember saying to my mom, it was December 24th. We just finished celebrating my mom's birthday. We do that on Christmas Eve. And I said, Mom, I don't feel well. And my mom said to me, I think you're having a premonition. And honestly, I didn't know what that word meant. So I said to my mom, I go, like, what do you mean, like premonition? And she said to me, all it means is you have like a feeling about something. Could be good, could be bad. I was getting ready for church to go to midnight mass. And I said, my mom grabbed me. She came upstairs. I was getting changed. And ooh,
Mhm.
said to me, Steve passed away. And at a very young age, that was my first experience of death. So, Jerry, I feel your pain, brother, on that one, and
Yeah.
I
Well,
share my heartfelt with you on that.
with,
I get
with me, nobody told me that,
Yeah.
because he was 16, I was 14, and they
Yeah.
just thought I was too young to be able to handle that kind of news. And so,
Yeah.
you know, when it, you know, like we were at, I was with two other friends at a bowling alley. I was walking home. We had to walk up this big hill, and we were hoping somebody would come along and give us a ride. And my mom showed up, and they, oh, great, she's gonna give us a ride. But and she only wanted me in the car and not my other
Yeah.
two friends. And then she dropped the bomb on me. And then,
Yeah.
and it was weird because I didn't feel anything. You know, I just thought, oh, okay, he's gone. You know, I
Yeah.
didn't. And then so she asked me if I wanted to ride home, and I said no, I'll just walk with my friends. So
Right.
we only had like about another three blocks to go, and so we were talking about him, you know, because they
Right.
knew him too, because they went to the same high school as him. And
Right.
so I'm walking home, and then just as I'm walking up the front steps, it all just crashed down on me, and I just became a blithering bag of mush, and just
Yeah.
started wailing. And like, it just, all I
Yeah.
could think of was, it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair. And like, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, and I don't even remember my friends leaving, because they came in the house with me. I don't remember them leaving. And I just, you know, I was just in a state of shock for about a week until after the funeral. And then it just kind of struck me, you know, if he could die, I could die.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, a pretty big revelation for a 14-year-old. And I just decided right then and there, I was not going to do stress. I was not going to freak out about stuff. I was going to be happy and not, you know, because why? What's the point? You know, as long as I've got enough money, I've got a roof over my head, I've got food to eat, you know, life is good. You know, and
People
I've got,
tend to forget that right there, man. And
and I've got good friends. So
yeah, you know what I mean?
you know.
We're doing
Mhm.
something right now that you guys are doing something right now that you love and you enjoy. And, you know, you accomplished writing your book, and you guys have a podcast. And, you know,
2
man,
books.
hey,
2 books.
huh?
2 books.
Oh, you're good. You okay? You got, hey, listen, hold on. I got this one.
Yeah.
I got this one.
No.
And you know what? Everybody's asking me, man, if I'm going to do a second one. And I said, you know, I would love to do a second one. I really would. And when I do it, and this is not if, when I do it, I already know the title of it, and I know what I want the book to be about. And I've already talked to Perry, and Perry's on the same page with me, thank God. And
We tried to get Perry
but
on
you
the show
know,
today.
I
Dan.
gotta say, huh?
We tried to get Perry on the show today to surprise you, but he was busy. He couldn't make it. So.
Oh no! You know why that's hilarious? Because I was going to message him. I actually was going to message him, and we got to do it with Perry on there, because I'll tell you right now, man, we have such an amazing click, him and I. Like we get along so well, and I said it 1,000,001 times. I could not have picked a better person to edit my book, and I thank God every day that he decided to to do that, with me.
Yeah. So, well, we're coming to the end of our time here. The Grey Cup's going to be in an hour or two, and then so want to thank you, Dan, for coming on again.
Hey man.
So we love having you on, and how can our subscribers follow you? How can they? Where are you on social media?
Well, I'm just straight up Dan Giancola on Facebook. I believe I'm like dangiancola.bto on Instagram. You guys will see me there. I was on Twitter. I tried 1,000,001 times when I unfortunately forgot my password. And let me tell you something, what you got to go through to get back on Twitter is insane. But I can give you all the information on that, man. And the book is still on Amazon, and we're still in the top. I think last time I looked, I dropped down to as low as 30, and then we shot back to 15 or 16 in biographies. So it's starting to, to go again. And but hey, listen, can I just say one more thing before we go?
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
If anybody takes anything out of this today, Jared, honest to God, I think it came from you, where you said that you have Craig to balance you off, to talk and to bounce what you're feeling on somebody, the opportunity to talk. And sometimes, man, outside of taking a pill, outside of, whatever, talking is, to me, is the best form of medicine. And that's the God honest truth. I feel so good right now that I've had an opportunity to just vent to you guys and tell you about my studio and what I've been going through, and sometimes that's all you need, is to have somebody. So I'm so happy for you guys both that you have that relationship with each other, that you can do that and you can vent. And, sometimes the other person doesn't want to hear it. Sometimes they've had a bad day too. But, if you let that individual know that, and you take it to the next level where you can share.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just knowing that they're going through something too, and you
And
guys can always pick up the
you
phone.
can always give them an Edmonton Oilers, chocolate hockey puck.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like you get totally, man. But you know what? I think you guys all the time, and I really hope this is not the last time I'm on your show. I enjoy doing this. I love doing this.
Yeah,
And
absolutely not. Well, we'd have you on every time if we could.
I told you, just let me know, even if it's a last minute thing, I would be honored to be on the show.
Yeah. So
we can talk football, we can talk mental health, we can talk whatever the hell you want to talk. I'm
tragically
full of
hip. Yeah. So
absolutely, whatever works.
What's the name of your company? Give it a plug so people know where to find you.
Well, BTO Performance. That's my studio, group and fitness training. And like I said, we got a new sign over here, and
you have a website?
I do. It's btoperformance.com.
Okay, and
that's where people can go. They can go there, and if they wanna message me, you can always, on Facebook, you can hit me up. My email is I'll give you my own personal. It's Dan Christina CHRISTINA Sky SKY at hotmail.com. Dan Christina Sky at hotmail.com. And somebody needs to talk. Whoever's watching, just like that gentleman did, I'm here, man. I don't pretend to know it all, because I don't, but I do know something about mental health. I do know something about having a heart attack, and I do know something about having a stroke.
Are you right in Toronto? Or are you right in your?
No, I'm in Thorold. I'm in Thorold. I'm in Niagara Falls.
Okay.
I live in Niagara Falls. My studio is in Thorold, but I live in Niagara Falls, and we're taking a trip out to BC next year, just because.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
We'll have you on live. We'll have you in
man.
studio.
Love to do that. Absolutely. We'd love to do that, man.
All right, man.
Where are you guys in Vancouver?
I'm in Mission, which is about an hour outside Vancouver.
Okay.
And I'm in Burnaby.
Oh, you're in Burnaby. Oh, no way.
I'm like, Empire Field is like a 10-minute drive away.
No way. So I stayed in New Westminster when I played with the Lions. I was right on the Logging River. And then, of course, we practice in Surrey.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, that's great, man. That's great.
Be great to catch up.
Yeah, man. Like, totally. Like I said, I used to spend a lot of time in Kitsilano with Louis Bisaglia, and we used to go to a restaurant. I believe it was called Rosini's. I know it's not there no more, but Louis used to always take me to Rosini's. And I absolutely loved it. Kitsilano, we go down, we hang out around the beach, and to me, I don't. Vancouver is the to me anyway. Like I spent some time in Calgary, and I love the Rockies, but holy cow, BC, that drive from Vancouver to Whistler that I took.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. It's like legit. You died and you went to heaven. It was God's country. It was insane. It was gorgeous. So yeah, we're looking forward to coming back out there and having some fun.
Good
awesome,
stuff.
Dan. Okay.
Well, when we do, let's plan a podcast for it.
We'll do.
Sure.
We'll hook up for definite, for sure. Yeah, and have a great vacation if we don't talk to you beforehand.
Thank you, man.
So
wait a minute. Okay, wait before you go. Who's your pick? Grey Cup.
I'm a Westerner. I gotta go. I gotta go with the Bombers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Toronto without their starting. Who's the backup quarterback for Toronto? Who's starting? Like
Arbuckle, I think.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Like if Chad Kelly was in, I'd probably lean towards Toronto, but I'm thinking Winnipeg's just they'll have a game plan for the backup quarterback, and they're gonna. So I'm thinking Blue Bombers.
Okay, so 2 pegs in our. So listen, the next time we come back on, somebody's going to rub salt into somebody's.
Yeah, that's right.
Grab some chili and a pint.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, can I take a selfie before we go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm going to just turn it this way. Oh, that's awesome. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Make sure you send that to us.
So. Oh, I'm going to. Okay, I think I got to keep it like this now.
Yeah.
Well, there's my new sign.
Nice.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
New colors. So yeah, next time we talk, hopefully it'll be a lot better. And there's my disaster.
Wow! Holy cow! That's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking good.
a lot of work,
shit laying around.
I was gonna say a lot of work's been done since you took us on the tour last time.
Yeah, well, next time I take you guys on a tour, I think you guys will really appreciate that much more. But listen, I love you guys, and thank you. I'm honored being on the show as always.
Yeah, love you too, Dan. So
thanks, Dan. Love you.
Craig and I are going to talk about
do what you got to do. Just try to be nice.
Yeah. Okay. See you, bro.
You got it, man. See you guys soon.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oops. I cut him off.
Wow, you cut him off. Nice finish. Well done, Eubank. Once again.
I'm telling you, we got to fire that stupid producer anyway. So, anyway, I'm just going to self-plug here. I'm doing a book signing December 12th at the Richmond Sockeyes junior hockey game. If people don't have a copy of my book, you can buy one there. And if not, if you have one already, come and I'll sign it for you if I haven't already. So looking forward to some great junior hockey action, and they're playing Mission. So I'm going to have a rooting interest in the game. So
is that the Mission Pilots?
No, the Abbotsford Pilots, but
okay.
Mission is the Mission City Outlaws. So yeah, so we're doing pretty well, but Richmond's got a skookum team. I think they're first in their conference, and I think they're like, last time I checked, they were like 15-4 or something. So they're a pretty strong team. But there's another team in the other conference. I can't remember who it was, but they've lost like only one game all year. So some good, it's junior B, but it's very entertaining. Like for the money you spend, it's good entertainment. Like the kids really, the coaching is really good. Like they play a pro system. Like it's amazing to watch. These awesome. 18-year-old kids. So yeah. Well,
enjoy your Grey Cup Sunday, pal.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Yeah, we got to go. We got guests coming over, and we're gonna do some shit.
Sounds good. All right.
All right, buddy. We'll see you in a fortnight. I love you too.
You got her. Okay, bye.
See ya.